Nice to meet you. You're sitting here?
Misty's gonna sit there. She's gonna use the timer for me. Or do you want to sit back there? Whatever you're trying to do is speak.
Oh, wow.
I did. No, it was perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, actually it does. It's been tried there several different ways. He's very into his community. Community. You're from my dad. You know, connection.
Oh, wow, you know her father?
No, but we will soon.
Oh, wow.
Soon. I think by the close of business
But
today.
close of business.
By the way, Anisha is doing her master's in USD as well.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
And she also has written the first day class. Oh, she's moving from treatment to
Where are you
JHU College for Cherry Hill.
Oh, sorry, Virginia.
This is my first week. I like the song selection.
Oh, you said that the flash drive that I gave to him, and you can put it on that. Oh, yeah?
बीच में तुम्हारा ही जगह है ताकि अगर तो कराटा लेगी तो किसी को
It's actually related to everything. And it's pretty awesome.
I never thought about that.
फायदे की बात देखो
Never thought about that because
वो भर नहीं रहे दीवार पर
Kabul player less hacker.
Meant to call the doctor and she was calling you. Yeah.
Working all
He said,
weekend
no,
just to finish the
no.
laptop. Not they have given me homework. I am.
Not everyone gave me a bio, so I can make up stuff about you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I'm a medical
You can come up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was
Don't tell him this. Don't tell him now.
I can't wait to hear about what you talk on.
It's gonna be so cool. I love what I do. But yeah.
I'm starting to create some programs around women's empowerment and merch technology. I can't make them until I can either have them afterwards or as soon as I saw your topic on there.
I've been banging this drum for a little while, but it seems like we'll come back. And having great
I'm working
You're just asking for the code, right? Not a slide. Just make a slide of that.
Shashi Dr. Acharya, do you know when he is expected?
No, I don't.
Because we want to get things going.
So should I send him an email?
Text.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, send him an email. My only concern is Dr. Bhatia because I don't want to lose
Code
him.
when is inspired by.
I have him on a very tight window.
Okay. His schedule's go on just, so we'll get started in like one more minute.
That's the reason.
We're gonna get started in just a moment, so if you need a water or a coffee, please help yourself before we get started. Thank you.
I'm sorry. No, please sit down.
Working on
So I run it and mostly juggling everything else.
So information management, so,
Really?
I thought you
Do we have the,
but I heard psychology, so I.
Any of the
because my other
films?
Flag?
You have a video? Can you just pull one up?
There is a need for, the area of information, not just supplementary, but administration and
I use it in the classroom all the time. Yeah, music is a great way to accelerate learning
bucket list.
Hey Sunil,
and keep the masses in
there is
in control.
take one dose of, right?
Oh, you can look. Do the first one.
It's 5 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
Do you wanna
Let's go ahead and play it.
put that
Then
back?
keep it pause, set, buffer and ready when we are ready. Using now is time to play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start it off.
I want to just fill it, do a filler.
You want to just do it there now? I think we need to pause the pen.
No, just start until the end. Oh, waiting for like 3 or 4
Alright, just do the beginning.
The untimely death of infants and women, even today, due to lack of awareness in medicines, in India's rural and Vanvasi, forest inhabitants areas, are still a matter of grave concern. Sensing this utter lack of health awareness in these areas, the Arogya Foundation of India started 15 years ago to make aware the people of those far-flung areas of India which were hitherto devoid of even government facilities. The rural and Vanavasi people were sensitized about their health. The organization, first of all, taught the importance and benefits of cleanliness to the students of Ekal schools. The teachers themselves started keeping their students tidy, and as a result, their parents were motivated towards cleanliness. A first aid box was also made available in every Ekal school village through the foundation, which facilitated them to treat minor diseases and wounds. The teachers and volunteers of Ekal schools started reaching every household and taught the importance of personal hygiene and remedies from diseases to the villagers.
हम जाते हैं तो बताते हैं कि आप व्यक्तिगत सफाई और सामाजिक सफाई, ये दो प्रकार की सफाई पर अगर ध्यान रखेंगे तो बड़े से बड़े बीमारी से आप बच सकते हैं.
Keeping in view the health-related problems in these areas, the foundation also started to organize free health camps. Renowned and senior doctors from the cities treat the villagers and children in these camps. The foundation also provides free medicines to them, besides the deworming of the children.
गरीबों का यहाँ जहाँ डॉक्टर का सुविधा नहीं है, गरीब डॉक्टर तक नहीं पहुँच पाता है, यहाँ पर आकर के उसको दवा देते हैं. बड़े डॉक्टर आते हैं यहाँ तो निःशुल्क दवा देते हैं, इलाज करते हैं, पैसा नहीं लेते.
A research carried out by the foundation confirmed that the cause of a majority of diseases in villagers and Vanavasis is due to unhealthy eating habits, way of living, and lack of proper sanitation. Thus the volunteers taught the importance and construction of Sokta Gadda, absorbing pit, to drain sewerage. As a result, the surroundings of the villagers and Vanavasis turned clean. Today, all of them collectively keep their surroundings clean. Keeping the financial, forest and rural resources in mind, the Arogya Foundation of India has also started popularizing the local indigenous treatment among the masses. Poshan Vatikas, nutritive nursery, can be constructed in the vicinity of houses or in the fields where vegetables along with medicinal herbs can be grown. Such efforts by the organization have transformed the eating habits of families, and the farming of turmeric and medicinal herbs also increased their income. Anemia used to be the most common problem among the villagers, but the Arogya Foundation, through its free diagnostic camps, advised the women, girls and infants about proper diet and free medicines. Gur chana khao, anemia dur bhagao. Jaggery and gram a day keeps anemia away. Researchers have proved that adopting these measures have improved the health and hemoglobin level of every patient. The efforts of the Arogya Foundation are also being lauded in foreign countries, and a young group from America came to India to see and praise the works of the Arogya Foundation.
Arogya Foundation of India and Health Foundation for Rural India. We work under the umbrella of Ekal Abhiyan.
We'll be talking to Dr. Mukhopadhyay in a minute, so.
The foundation trains its volunteers time to time, and these volunteers in turn visit the rural houses to make them aware about cleanliness and Arogya. Awareness campaigns to make the people conscious are also organized by the volunteers. Today, the efforts of the Arogya Foundation have transformed the lives of millions of villagers. Adopting self-hygiene has benefited them drastically. The positive results of the Arogya Foundation confirms that the dream of realizing a clean India, healthy India, and capable India is not far.
Okay, please give that video a big round of applause. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mo, and welcome to our health education, the key to village development conversation, if you will. And there's lots of room for conversation today. And today is a special day because it's an opportunity to do something a little bit different in the world. And it's an opportunity to bring people together that otherwise have not been together before in the past. But what I'd like to start off with all the important stuff. When do I pee? When do I get to leave? Right, all the stuff that everyone wants to know in a room. So if you need to use restroom facilities, they are at the very end of the hallway. You make a right, and you'll find both the men's and women's restroom there. We'll also be taking a short break around 11:15 or so, just depending on how the speakers are doing. Around 11:15, we'll take a 10-minute break. And then we'll be wrapping up the session around 1 o'clock as far as the formal session, with lots of opportunity for more conversations afterwards as well. Does anyone have any questions about those logistics before we continue? No? Okay, fantastic. We've covered all the hard stuff. Great. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be listening to 10 speakers share innovative ideas and concepts and projects that are going on. And this is an opportunity for us to learn. Please raise your hand if you like to learn. Now, do you think you learn better if you're present or if you're not present? Present, right? So it doesn't work if she and I are having a side conversation while you're talking, right? So in order for this to work effectively, my invitation to you is to give yourself the gift of being present. And by being here in the conversation that's in the room and not in the monologue that may be going on in your brain, okay? And what I also invite you to do is to get your neighbors to sort of rejoin, because sometimes as human beings we have a tendency to doze off. Has that ever happened to you, right? You start thinking, especially when someone says something brilliant, you think about something else, right? So just sort of nudge your neighbor very gently. We don't want suits here. So just very gently just nudge them to come back into this conversation to do that. So I appreciate everyone being involved with that. Yeah, we don't need to throw anything, I don't think. But I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things today. Because when you're in front of the room, you already know what you're going to do, right? You're going to share your heart, you're going to share everything that you've been working on for more than just a little bit of time, right? I know the preparation that you've done for your presentation today goes far above and beyond some slides and some words that you may have prepared. It's really about a lifetime of work that you've gone on this journey with. So what we're going to give you as the listeners is we're going to give you our attention. Are you with me on that?
Yes.
Right? We're going to give you our attention, and we're going to give you listening from a very particular point of view. And the point of view I'd like you to consider is what's missing in the world right now of development work. And what's missing is a brand of collaboration. What's missing is a brand in the world of development that is an open invitation for others to come join and participate. A lot of times it seems like in the halls of academia, really smart people get together and have meetings. And then somewhere out there in a village, people take action. And now is the opportunity for us to close those gaps, to bring those brilliant ideas, and to empower a lot of people out there that want to make a difference, and to bring everyone together in this mission today. So thank you for taking the time to be here. Thank you for taking the time to participate and listen. And what I'd like to do is we're going to do a quick little exercise as a part of our branding exercise. And I'd like you to pull out your cell phone. Everyone here have a cell phone? Okay. Pull out your cell phone, and on your cell phone there's a camera feature. There's a camera feature. I'd like you to turn on your camera feature, find someone in the room that you'd like to be seen with, and take a selfie with them. Okay? Because here's the thing that's missing. Why can't development be fun? Why can't making a difference also be engaging? Right? So let's add a little bit of social media. So please everyone take your cell phones out. Take a couple of photos. You'll get a chance to take more photos throughout. There's a lot of really brilliant, important people in the room. And just take a quick moment.
Stay with you.
Sure, you can take a photo.
I'll take on what's that.
I don't do so.
Sunil, can I please take with you? You never get to see him now. How do you?
Very good. Thank you.
Wow, I lost a lot of hair. Just kidding.
Oh, what do you know? Is that how it? No. Whenever I take selfies, I'm always like, they're awful photos.
Oh, right here.
So this is not. No, that was better.
Yeah, you see how to do the thing.
And a quick little tip, when you're taking selfies, look at the camera, not yourself.
Good.
Oh, much better shot looking at the camera.
Very good. It's so funny that you guys both did not bring your phones. That was awesome.
Okay, thank you for doing that. So now what I'm going to encourage you to do here is there's a couple of places for you to go and like. There's a button that says like on a program called Facebook. You've heard of Facebook? It's for more than just cat videos and people doing silly things. There's a couple of organizations for you to look up on there and hit like on so you can post some photos too. The first one is ECHL DC, EKAL DC, ECHL DC. So please make sure you get on there and like the ECHL DC page. And then the second one, and it says ECHL Washington DC chapter when you search for ECHL DC. And the second one is our partner organization here putting this on is Earthopia. So that's Earth and then OPIA, Earthopia. So please go ahead and like both of those. And then your last assignment is to put your phone on silent. And if you're not sure how to put your phone on silent, please hold it out in front of you, and I promise you someone will look it over and teach you how to push a button. On an iPhone, you push this button down until you see red. On an Android device, you push volume down when it's unlocked until it shows to vibrate, okay? And if you really want to give yourself the gift of being present, airplane mode works fantastic. You'll be left alone for just a few minutes.
Or you can just shut it off.
Or you can just shut it off
Be a
completely,
rebel.
right? But we figure you want to take some photos, participate in social media.
Put it in the washing machine, that works too.
So our next lesson here to learn is about acknowledgement, right? And then oftentimes what happens in the world is good work is done and there's very little to no acknowledgement. And we see this happen in young children in schools all the way to adult life when you accomplish something major and your boss walks by 6 months later and says, hey, good job on that project, and then moves on.
Do they even say that?
Do they even say that? Occasionally they do. So this is our opportunity to exercise acknowledgement as a daily practice. And what I'd like you to do is exercise that acknowledgement today via applause. And I'd like you to start by acknowledging each other for the work that you've done in social media. So please give yourselves a big round of applause. Excellent, excellent. And don't worry, you're going to get another chance to practice that, because practice does make perfect. Actually, perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice horrible things, you will accomplish horrible things. Okay, so let's be clear on that. But our first speaker is only going to share with us for one moment, because she's super intelligent. She doesn't need to say much. She'll say it very quick. And she has been a champion for what's possible in the world. And her work with Arogia has been fantastic. Her work with ECHO has been legendary. And she's been a champion with us at Orthopia, and we love her. So please put your hands together for Shashiyanti to share.
So Mo is quite an entertainer. Thank you very much. I think I should start out by thanking you all for coming here on this Saturday morning, and I take all the credit or I take all the blame that I made you come here. But thank you very much for coming. And the reason for us to be here is to really learn from each other and to really see where we can collaborate to bring good health to the tribal and rural India, along with the other parts of world wherever your foundations or your passion is. But India needs, the tribal India definitely needs our attention. So, having said that, in 2008, University of Maryland was heavily involved with the Arogya in India. And I'm just, because I have 1 minute. So, in 2008, some raw data, which was in the paper form, came from India to University of Maryland, and the Dr. Ritu Agrawal, who is in the Center for Information and Health Decision System. She had a student who did his PhD later on, and he wrote a thesis on that. Conclusion of that was, in the Arogya villages, or actually in the Ekal villages, wherever there was a Arogya Sevika, there was a positive impact. So since then, we did not make any more strides in that direction. But always we have known that if there is a frontline worker, she is the or he is the link between the villager and the next available healthcare facility. So now after so many years, we are coming back to ground one reality and saying again that we need to go back and train the Arogya Sevika. In 2008, there was a very wonderful training set by the Arogya Foundation, but somehow it did not move forward. So with your help, with all the things that Arogya has done in India and here in USA lately, in last 2 years I would say, now is the time to really make this training session do the best for the village. Because if we drop it now, then it will be very hard to pick up, just like what we did. Then other organization would come and they will do their job, which they are already doing. But then at least from my perspective, Ekal Arogya has the best of you here. This is the cream that is working in the field of health. So I think with my humble request, please do your best. Thank you.
Fantastic. And for those of you that are wondering what's the hashtag for today, Smart Village. Hashtag Smart Village for your tweets. Thank you. So we're going to get started here with our first speaker in just a moment. He's going to be dialed in from India via a Skype out. And while we're working on that, a quick item of logistics for the speakers that are going to be speaking throughout the room. You are your talks will be timed. We have got a limited amount of time, as I mentioned. So at 5 minutes, you're going to see the 5-minute card. Say hi, Misty. Misty's going to be the one holding up the card. Right? So she's very non-threatening at first. And then it'll go to 2 minutes, right, when there's 2 minutes up. So that's when you're like, I'm on a good point. Maybe I should come to a conclusion, right? Leave them wanting more because, you've got papers to write and stuff. And then there's 1 minute left. And then there's 30 seconds, when really by 30 seconds, you just want to just start really wrapping it up. And then Dr. Bollinger, when done comes out, Dr. Bollinger is going to start playing classic Bollywood music, just like they do at the Academy Awards. The music will get louder and louder until we can't hear you anymore. So you definitely want to wrap that up. And to start us off with our first segment, I'm going to introduce our moderator for this next segment. Please, a huge round of applause for co-founder and president of Earthopia, Mr. Sunil Ishirze.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to be very quick because our first presenter is actually in India, and he's waiting. He is in a village, so that's why we couldn't do Skype. So I had to do a telephone conference with him. So the person we're going to be talking to is Dr. Mukul Bhatia. Quick background. Pretty much Dr. Mukul Bhatia today is the coordinator of Arogya India. He is managing the whole operation from all aspects. And the focal point are 2 key areas. One is anemia control and frontline workers, which are known as Sevikas, training. So I'm going to let him give you more details, but a little bit. Dr. Mukul Bhatia has been with ACO for many years, since the beginning, almost 20, but he took a break in between about 10 years back when the tsunami came in. He devoted himself to going and helping the victims from the tsunami. And from that point, when Shashiji was explaining earlier in 2008, what had happened was actually Dr. Mukul Bhatia is the one who initiated the program. And then he had to leave. So what had happened is that program, the Arogya Sevika program, when in, stopped. Once he left, now he is back and in full force and passion, and he sees the value and the tremendous, and effort that he's putting is, going to give us back many folds. And the key aspect here today is I want everybody to focus on is what is ACO and Arogya. So what is our core competency, which is the fact that we have the largest grassroots volunteer organization in India, nonprofit. These are over 10,000, actually 55,000 teachers in every village, which are all mostly volunteers. Then on supporting staff of up to 10,000 karyakartas, which support these acharyas, which are the teachers. So, and then in addition to that, now the next movement effort is to have every village with one Arogya Sevika, which is one frontline health worker. So the goal is 55,000 frontline workers. So right now we are at 1,000, and hopefully we move exponentially, and 55,000 probably in the next couple of years. So let's go ahead and get Dr. Mukul Bhatia online. Oh.
Oops.
He sings very well.
That's the Bollywood music.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Anji, Dr. Bhatia? Hello, Dr. Bhatia? Namaskar. So I have a group of people here ready to listen to you. So can you give them a quick, a little bit about yourself and what Arogya is doing in India?
How many people are there?
We have about, I would say, about 20, 25.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Actually, in
Can you hear me, Dr. Bhatia?
in India, Arogya is a part of the whole Ekal Abhiyan, and under Arogya Yojana, our flagship program is for anemia control of the women in the rural areas. And we have got presence in 54,000 villages as a part of the Ekal Abhiyan. And for the specific project of anemia control, we have got presence in more than 2,000 villages at present. And along with that, we are also working for the first aid, for the medical help to the whole of the population of the villages through our Chikitsa Sahayata Kendra. The main instrument in this program are the villagers themselves, especially the women of the villages. We select one lady from one village who is known as Arogya Sevika, and the seniors are known as Arogya Sanyojika, who monitor the activities of Arogya Sevikas. As you know, sanitation and hygiene is a big topic these days in India. But since last 17 years, we are working on this theme because this is the main instrument for prevention of various types of infectious diseases, which is more prevalent and a bigger health problem in the villages of India. So we had started long back in 1999 to train our Arogya Sevika for the awareness program. And during this period, we have devised many types of instruments for awareness. One of them is posters. We now, each Arogya Sevika has got a set of 50 posters, which are mainly concentrating on the prevention of diseases of various types, which are more prevalent in India, like tuberculosis, like anemia in the pregnant ladies, like diarrhea, like malaria, dengue. And in addition to that, as you know, in India, there is an ancient system of herbal medicine. We have selected some proved herbs which are very much effective in common ailments like cough, cold, some skin diseases, some allergic reactions, and common fevers. So we have trained our Arogya Sevika on that aspect also, and we have selected 21 types of herbs for that type of training. Recently, in two areas in Jharkhand and one in Udaipur, that is Rajasthan, we have started a work of construction also, so that the wastewater is disposed of in the soak pit. Actually, as you know, in the villages, the main source of water is hand pumps or wells. And if this water, used water, wastewater, pools up near the source of water, it seeps down into the earth and infects the source of water itself. So we have constructed soak pits 20 meters away from the source of water, that is hand pump, and that has increased the water table and also solved the problem of infestation with the worms or various types of germs, the source of water. We have also started using the children in our program. We have associated various government schools and Ekal Vidyalaya, and the children in the Vidyalaya and that is school and the teachers and our Arogya Sevika collectively take out rallies in the villages for awareness programs, during which they hold placards and sing some songs. The main theme is cleanliness. And for all this, we select the educated ladies of the villages and train them. And the initial training for these ladies is for 7 days, which covers all the aspects of our scheme, that is the cleanliness hygiene awareness program, the techniques of awareness. Last year, when Washington DC, this organization of Arogya Foundation, HFRI, through Sunilji, donated us projector. We now train all the Arogya Sevika and Sayojikas with the help of these projectors. We have prepared PPTs, and Dev Satarawala in USA improved our PPTs, and through these PPTs we are training these Sevikas. At present, in 7 provinces of India, we have initiated this program, and during last 3 years, we have increased our strength from 1 province to 7 provinces. Initially, we had since 2013 a pilot project how to confront this problem of anemia in women. For 2 years, we ran that pilot project, and the results were very encouraging, because in almost 90% ladies we were able to increase hemoglobin of the women substantially. By many ways, so the diet counseling has become our main theme, and we are encouraging the farmers in the villages to produce the green vegetables in their kitchen garden, and also some fruits, limited number of fruits, which may be consumed by their family itself, not for sale in the market. We call them as a Poshan Vatika, and that has become an important part of our health program. The medicinal plants or herbs, we are encouraging the farmers to sow these also in their farms or kitchen gardens. So these things we have initiated. For that, we are developing some master trainers also, because it is difficult to get full-time doctors. So we are taking help of doctors in various places to train our master trainers. Master trainers actually are the old full-time workers of Ekal Abhiyan, in the very senior persons in every province. They have got their moorings in the villages of those provinces, and so they are very stable in their work. If they are trained, then this program can go on for years together. And one organization with the name of National Medicos Organization, which has got membership of doctors in medical colleges, and also the students of the medical colleges, has come with us, and they are conducting these trainings with our syllabus in different parts of the country to train the master trainers, Arogya Sayojika, Arogya Sevika, and in this way we are organizing these trainings in various parts. Besides this, for the immediate solution of the ailments of the villages, we are doing work by 2 means. One is through medical camps in various areas, and with the help of National Medicos Organization, we are conducting some Swasthya Seva Yatras, that is series of medical camps in a limited period. Just last month we have finished one yatra in Jammu and Kashmir area. 66 medical camps were there. And in all these, through these medical camps, not only we are treating the patients in the villages, we conduct awareness programs also in the villages, in which the doctors themselves give lectures to the villagers. And such type of yatras are being run for last 2 years in 6 states, including Jharkhand, Assam, Rajasthan, Jammu Kashmir, UP, and Madhya Pradesh.
Dr.
It
Bhatia?
has become a big, yes.
Yes, go ahead. So we're gonna a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna have some questions.
Okay. And the other program is our Chikitsa Sahayata Kendra, that is a health center where whenever there is a patient in the village who has to be consulted in the urban health facility centers like medical colleges or some private hospitals in the urban area, because in the rural area of India, there are very little physicians, trained graduates or postgraduates, and so we are running these CSK centers in the big cities where we have got one in charge of that with a motorcycle, and whenever he gets some information from some village that there is a inpatient or accidental case, the patient he takes to the medical college, gets him admitted there or a nursing home, and gets the treatment done as early as possible and through a proper way, so that the treatment may be very cheap or it may be free, and this is our very ambitious thing also. So these are some of the things we are doing. I think now onwards you may have some questions from the audience.
So do we have any questions for Dr. Bhatia?
Yes, hello there. Can you hear me okay?
You might need to speak a little bit.
Okay,
Or if
sorry.
you want to come around.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks. Hi there, Dr. Bhatia. Question for you about question on the big cities. How do they work with the villages? Is there communication via technology of the patient's information?
Yes, it is an important aspect, because previously when we had started this program, we were conducting blackboard classes in which we gave them lectures on the blackboard and spoke before them. Now we are giving through projectors, through PPTs, so technology has strengthened us, and now we are planning to have these lectures or PPTs or these information to be conducted their phones itself, or give them some better type of smartphone so that they may record it and keep it, and whenever they need it, they can use it. So technology can help us in a very big way. Moreover, whenever there are reports from the villages, because we have got a session of 24 hours every month for a cluster of 30 Arogya Sevika in all the areas, and from that the reports generate, and we have to enter it into the computer manually. If technology helps us and we can have an MIS system, these reports can be compiled through that system, and
Okay.
the software itself.
Thank you. How is the government, the national, was it the Royal Health Organization? Thank you. What is the response from them in terms of support financially or with infrastructure? How are the policymakers with you all?
Pardon, the question is whether the government is helping us. or it is different?
Yeah, the policymakers, are they helping or hindering your organization? Are there challenges?
Government is helping us.
Are there challenges that you're faced with?
The challenge is to build up the infrastructure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. Yes, it's a big challenge because if we take up any specific type of work, then we have to build infrastructure. For example, the government is helping the villagers to have toilets in their houses. But you know, in these toilets, there is a flush system. The basin is there and the flush system is there. While in villages, the same scenario is like that, that for 25 to 30 or sometimes for 50 families, there is only one hand pump. And the people take only 1 tumbler of water and go to the outside in the fields and have their morning calls. But when they use these toilets, they should have 30 liters of water for them, for one person of the family. And if the family has got 6 or 7 members, then you may imagine how much water they need. And for 50 families to fetch this water from the hand pumps, it's a big challenge. And so they keep these toilets when it is constructed locked, and they don't use it.
So would you say sorry. So
these are big challenges before us for sanitation and for drinking water also. Sometimes during that we should have some type of pumping system which can bring out the deep from water from the deep tables from where the water is pure, because the less deeper water is infected with the seepage of the water inside. And it's a big challenge to have potable water and usable water for the toilet. This is a big challenge.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Sure. One last question.
Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. That's very nice presentation, information. How do you recruit the volunteers? How are they selected?
How are the volunteers selected?
Oh, actually, we have devised a very good way by our experience through years. We first of all form a committee in the villages. Actually, we first of all form a committee at the state level, then in the city level, that is the district level, and then at the block level, and then the village level. And we give the right to select the persons, these committees, because the members of these committees are volunteers. They are very educated, and some of them are businessmen, some of them are teachers of these schools. They voluntarily join us, and they undertake the process of selection. Most of the ladies who are selected, they are either 12 pass, some of them are graduates. They pass through a written examination, and for one section, we have 3 candidates. They are suggested by the village committee, and then they have to pass through an interview, and then the committee of the district and the block, they select it and provide us the proper candidates for our training process.
Great. We have one last question.
Yes. Dr. Bhatia, potable water, not only in India, is very limited. In coming 25 years, we will have 1 bottle of water much more expensive than Coca-Cola. So are we doing something to purify water from seawater because India is surrounded from three sides by ocean.
As you know, it's a very costly process, and that can be taken up by some agency which is associated with the government. And we being the organization from the public support, it's not affordable for us to use water from the seawater. And I think it is the most costly thing for the government as well. In India, we have got so many resources of water and the rains are so good. It may be deficient for 1 year or 2 years, then it comes heavily. That if the preservation of the rainwater and the reverse water is done with a very good scheme, planning, then there will be no dearth of water in whole of the country. And we may not be able to do that purification of the sea water. But yes, together to come in the condition of the economy of the country, I think so. This is my personal view. Maybe that's possible for the others, for the government agencies in the future. But I think so.
Okay, Dr. Bhatia, thank you very much for your time. And I know you are traveling. We appreciate you taking time from your travels in Gujarat. Do you have any last words?
This is a very important thing for me, traveling. Besides traveling, if I can spare a time for our main motto, then that is very important for me. And thank you very much. You all came and heard me, and many thanks.
Thank you. Okay, namaste, Dr. Bhatia. Thank you for everything.
Okay, thank you. Real information from someone on the ground in real time. And please raise your hand if you've ever heard a TED Talk before. That would be really weird if you didn't, right? But you've heard TED Talks before. And TED Talks are very challenging because you're putting a lifetime's worth of work in 18 minutes. And our speakers today are doing something even more challenging. They're putting it in 15 minutes. And our next speaker is going to be sharing with us about access to healthcare in rural India via the usage of technology. And I'm going to sort of summarize his experience a little bit just to say that he is the president, CEO, and founder of Creative Information Technology, Inc. He has won the SBA Award in 2009 for entrepreneurial success, and from the Associations of India Entrepreneur in 2007. He completed his doctoral thesis on critical success factor analysis for federal contracting, and his book on entrepreneurship was published in 2012. Please put your hands together for Sunil Kolekar.
3.3?
Yeah,
For the sake of time, I won't be going through all the slides at all. I just wanted to do some visualization there. 15 minutes. This is a presentation that usually would take around 45 minutes, so it's not. So my name is, as Mo mentioned, Sunil Kolekar. I started this company 20 years ago. I actually got involved with ACO only last year. This is still my first year. I'm still the rookie here. The reason I got involved in ACO, and of course our fearless leader Shashishri and I met on a special occasion, and basically we started talking, and the reason it suddenly connected with me because my mother-in-law was a doctor in one of the charity hospitals in India, and I can tell you every time she would we would talk in the morning because in the night she's working, delivering babies. In the morning, when we have a breakfast discussion, every time we would discussion about how villagers bring bring their daughter-in-laws to a hospital, and they are so anemic, and she always gives a lecture to the elders there, but they don't listen, they don't give blood, they don't come up for any help, even though the next generation of their healthy kids is going to be coming from these babies. So it was kind of a pretty, when Shashiji talked about Arogya, and one of the major missions is about anemia and trying to solve that problem, it definitely connected with me and my wife. My wife couldn't join today, but she's also in infectious. She's a scientist at NIAID, working with a lot of infectious diseases, and definitely relevant. She's the right person to be in this kind of meetings, but I come from a technology background. Hopefully technology can solve some of the problems that we have. So coming from that background, I wanted to actually, as you mentioned, your question was technology. How are we gathering information? Are we able to gather information? Because ultimately, if we don't see outcomes, if we don't see results, what use is of continuing a program? A program continues, and after some time it may die. If we don't have that keen interest, and if we don't have the data that keeps on coming and motivating us to continue to do that. So, first of all, as you know, there is a we have gadgets now. Everyone has that, and there are smartphones that are really dropping in price in India as well. And of course, mobile health is the only way we can solve problems sometimes, because we don't have enough people, we don't have enough sevikas or trainers, we don't have enough doctors in the country. So I think, how do we train some of the sevikas so that they in turn can help the doctor collect the information? I think Dr. Acharya's speak last time was pretty enlightening to me as well, from Sundarban and all that. So.
Well, thank you.
So I come from a situation where I have a team in India. We have a software development shop, and Dr. Mukul Bhatia mentioned that they've created posters and small little things in PPTs and all those things. But what we want to help is more in terms of gathering data and providing mobile solution. Again, this time my focus is again we can sit down and talk, but we want to have a focused discussion on how do we get grants? How do we get money that we can implement a solution in India? And of course, ultimately, the data is what we want here as well. So what we have done is, the product is called Patient Buddy, and this Patient Buddy software is being used by Dr. Jagmohan Bajaj from VCU. And he did a study for cirrhosis, and he's a physician who was able to attract almost, I would say, close to 80 patients and collect the data and be able to show that if you have this gadget with the patients as they are discharged, then the hospital readmission is much less, through the guidance, through the collaboration, to the patients and caregivers, along with the patient and the case manager and the hospital systems. So, of course, he's basically enrolling only cirrhotic patients, at VCU. Next. These are some of the iPhone kind of an app. We, of course, stay in touch, speak to nurse. These are all big buttons that people can function easily. But also, this is record medications, because the biggest problem for hospital readmission is people don't take medication on time. People don't pay attention to the fact that they should be taking that. So adherence history and basically recording information about how your progress is in terms of weight, sodium diet. Thanks. This is the kind of a dashboard that case manager or the physician can see at the hospital. So basically, instead of looking at worrying about each and every patient, they can get a dashboard saying these are the patients who are in yellow or red or green, That means just call the patients who are not really taking medications. Why are they not taking medication? So you call them back and try to get them into adherence. Next. So what we are doing now, Dr. Bajaj is applying for next level of funding from the grant from AHRQ, and I think what some of the things that we are doing is integrating that with NIH toolbox. Basically, there are different types of tests he's combining with this patient buddy software. But enough about this. My focus is how do we apply this solution to in India? There is going to be a 4G network. Reliance, okay, when we go through this all politics and all that, hopefully, maybe I'm not saying within 6 months or within a year, but there would be a stage where there would be 3G and 4G network available. And can we assign this kind of a tool that is given to the Sevikas, that they in turn can go out to each of the villages and collect data about deficiencies. Why are the ladies anemic? So we can combine medication along with diet, what kind of diet they're having. And I know, so all the programs that ACL is trying to bring in, kitchen garden, or make sure that they're eating leafy vegetables. So diet and medication data that can be combined together in this kind of an app, and the data can be gathered. Ultimately, if we want to see outcomes, how are we doing, what are we doing, this is the kind of tool we have to implement. So what I'll do is, I think there are much more slides and all that, and I can publish them, but we would like to make this tool available to ACL and try to see if we can make this implemented. So that's what, if you have questions about this, I can go into it, but yes, please.
Patient Buddy, is the app already online or is it something in the making?
So it is being used by Dr. Bajaj.
So it's actually available in India?
It's not available in India, it's available in VCU right now.
VCU? Yeah. Why just VCU?
Well, we can offer it for anyone who wants to take it. So he applied through the grant. So again, there was an AHRQ grant, and Dr. Bajaj basically took our solution, applied for the grant. He got the first 2 years, he got a grant for 300,000. Now he's applied for a bigger grant. Now Veterans Hospital as well as Mayo Clinic is involved as well. So there are 3 different locations. They're combining together and trying to go for 5 years grant.
As you mentioned that, for 3G and 4G are not here yet, people don't have a lot of mobile phones and things like those. Wouldn't it be great if maybe like one facility has just one computer or maybe 2 and all the Sevikas can sit around it and people from America or other countries can actually train them online via just Skype, so you don't need a whole lot of phones, a whole lot of funding. It'll be just one funding and that's going to be it. Don't you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, so we're talking about only maybe Sevikas have the phone.
Okay.
Not all ladies and
so Sevikas do?
Sevikas, I think the smartphones are available actually to that degree now. Like again, maybe Mukul Bhatia can answer that question better than me. Yes, please.
So a couple things. So the idea is to roll out smartphones for every Sevika and Acharya in the village. But the issue is again, mentioned, is not every area has access to internet or even phone. So you have to understand these are very remote villages.
I see.
So once the technology gets there, that can be done. So actually, one of the things we were discussing is an offline system.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to maybe elaborate a little bit on...
You can collect the data offline,
yeah, so
and then get synchronized
yeah.
as soon as you're closer to Wi-Fi.
I see.
Yeah, so then collect the data offline and then bring it to and get. But actually the point I wanted to make and touch on, what Sunil brought up, which is the most important thing I think we're here today for, and the call that I want to make, a call of action, is that ACL right now has these frontline workers. We have people out there ready to work. We need to give them tools. But there's 2 things we need from you guys. And 2 things we're looking for is, 1, a collaboration and ideas, and to back it up with resources. Because as Dr. Bhatia said, we are a grassroots organization with limited funding. He brought up the whole idea of saltwater. Why can't we do it? Because we don't have the resources to do so. So if you have great ideas, that's great, but we need to back that up with the resources of implementation. We can give you the people to do it.
So how soon do you want the money?
As soon as you want to implement the project. As soon as you want to implement the
If we do
project.
something today to raise the money, right? I mean, I'm sure people have different experiences, but take a minimum of 6 months up to a year to get the money if we're successful. For sure, there's stuff we could start right away, even with small funds.
Exactly.
And so it might be worth maybe this afternoon or whenever to, maybe if we could collectively lay out sort of a roadmap of like what we can start right away, how to ramp up, and maybe some real strategic thinking around what kind of grants we can go for.
And that's one of the things ACO has. This is actually up to this point. This last conference, ACO made a decision to go for grants. Up to that point, they did not want any grant money because grant money is they were under the impression is attached with a lot of strings. They are a grassroots organization. They work from bottom up approach. So they go into the village and they ask what they want, and based on that, they provide. But if the grant's saying, "Oh no, you don't ask what the villagers want. You do what we tell you," then that can become a little bit conflicting.
I've never had a grant like that, but anyway.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. You don't have that.
Yeah, right.
That's what their impression was.
I see, I understand.
So that mindset has been changed. Now they're totally open to it. Dr. Bowles.
No, I was just going to say that some of the solutions you've talked about and the technology issue, they're already being done in India. I mean, it's not a question of can it be done, it's already being done. There are already tablets available in rural India that are delivering high definition video training. They're collecting data synchronously, asynchronously. There are many, many. So the technology
it does exist.
Is not the rate limiting
It's the
step.
funding.
Well, it's a combination of things, but funding is it's the ability to sustain and scale what works, and now funding's part of that. And on the funding side, I think there are opportunities with CSR and public-private partnerships, specifically in India. There's certainly a lot of CSR money being misused in India, and why not find some partners who would like to use their CSR resources for good things like this? And there are companies that could be approached, and we're working with lots of IT companies right now in India who are essentially donating a lot of their time and effort to develop some of these tools that you've heard about, and similar tools. So there are people interested, and I think it's a question of getting the right proposal in front of the right people. They come with fewer strings often than government grants. Certainly, U.S. government grants don't have nearly as many strings in my experience as the Indian government grants, but we have it. So I think the other is to make sure that, and I'll say more later, this is only a minute, 30 seconds left, is that there are opportunities, I think, to generate data that matters. So you need information that matters, you need endpoints that matter, you need resources that people
is required to spend 2%
but
of
the
the
technology is
on
not the
corporate
real
social responsibility type of activities. And that